A 13-syllable company just turned on the rocks from a cocktail order into a business strategy. The company that spent years telling others how to cut costs became their own case study, and we answer viewer questions. All that and more on this week's episode of The Layoff Desk. Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Becker, and welcome to The Layoff Desk. Each week, I highlight the absurdity of recent job losses, mock corporate honchos and their bullshit narrative for destroying jobs, and hopefully bring a little humor to an otherwise soul-crushing period. I also share legit career tips to help those impacted by layoffs. Before we get started, if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you didn't like it, just don't tell anyone. Just pretend you were never here. Republic National Distributing Company. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Really? Nothing.
Just laid off thousands of employees while trying to sell off parts of the company, which is wild because their entire business is logistics, moving alcohol efficiently. And somehow the only thing they've mastered lately is moving employees out the door. They lost a ton of business recently, and so they're basically running a corporate clearance sale. Everything must go: inventory, operations, workforce. They did say that the company buying the assets might rehire some of the employees. Might!
How do you use might in English? This might be Michael Jackson, but it might be somebody else. So might is when you're not sure about something.
That's not a job. That's a raffle ticket. On to KPMG, who typically charges companies big bucks to find ways to cut costs. Although this time, they skip the client and just build their own employees, with the announcement that 400 of them were obsolete. You know, somewhere there's a partner presenting this like a win. We achieved meaningful cost savings. Yeah, by deleting Kevin from accounting. No, not that Kevin. They call it strategic realignment. Kevin called it losing access to his badge. This next one is a stunner. Saks literally built their brand on exclusivity. And now they're making employment exclusive with the announcement of 640 jobs being put out on the clearance rack. I mean, nothing says high-end retail like a 15% off sale of your workforce. The entire business model is sell extremely expensive stuff to people who don't care about the price. And even that's breaking. Think about how bad things have to be for rich people to look at a $3,000 jacket and go, yeah, I'm good. Finally, there's GoPro. I know. I didn't know they were still around either. This is the company that literally owned an entire category. Strap on a camera to anything and do something cool. And somehow that turned into layoffs. GoPro spent years marketing capture the moment. And now the only thing they're capturing is cost savings. Turns out the only thing GoPro couldn't capture, a future. On to this week's career tip, which admittedly is weird, but surprisingly effective, I learned. People are now using dating apps to land job interviews. Yeah, Tinder, Bumble, basically LinkedIn, but with better lighting and fewer fake thought leaders. Bio says, looking for something long-term, preferably with benefits and a 401k match. But the crazy part is this, it's actually working. According to a recent survey by resumebuilder.com, 40% of the people who have used a dating app got an interview or referral. I mean, why not? Job boards are dead. 800 applicants, 3 bots screening everything out, and 1 hiring manager who's already promised the job to their college roommate's cousin. So give it a try. Sure, you might get ghosted, but at least now it counts as market research. That's it for this week. Be sure to visit thelayoffdesk.com to see all the past shows and all my career resources. And tune in next week for another edition of The Layoff Desk. Dirk, take me home.
Shut it down!